Look at Zevahim Daf Pe Bet Amud Aleph, 3 lines from the top. Next part of the Mishnah says, Shahya Rabbi Akiva Omer, Rabbi Akiva mentioned that any korban brought outside is pasul when the blood brought inside to the Hecha. Chaim say no, only a hatat. So that's what it mentions in the pasul. Mari Demar Shmuel, Mashal Madamar, what is it comparable to? That the Mitchem Azagli Bodach means the student who blends his wine, blends wine with water for his teacher, with hot water. Amar Lazogli, and the teacher asked for more, and he said, blend more. Amar Levmen, he said, the student asked him, what kind of water should I use? Amar Lo Chamin, then are we not talking about we're using already hot water? Meaning, the context is you use hot water, use it again. עכשיו, Ben Hamin, now you can mean, I can mean either hot or cold. Hachanami said over here. Meaning, if he said just do more wine, do the same way. To do more wine with hot water, that means I only want. It means I don't care whether it's hot or cold. Even if it's just hot because that's what it was. So achanami. So that's the nimshal. What's the nimshal? That's the mashal. This is the nimshal. Mechli v'chatat eskim about it. Yes, it's true. But pasuk tumar chatat. Chatat haramana. Why is it mentioned chatat again? Love chatat kamil. It must be tomat. The case tomat only a chatat. Ela kokachim. Sorry, not only rather all coaching. This is the reason why Rabbi Akiva. Whereas Matkif Larav Huna Bredi Yeshua, he says one sec Mifti. Itrabu Kol Kodashim Lagam Dach Nyam Merika Shtifa. All Kornot for the Mizbeach were also had the same requirement for washing. Hatat Katar Mala Mitzhak mentioned that again. Ramina Hatat only Hatat, yes, Midachin Lobana things. Now what does that mean? What does that do then? Now that's comparable. It's the case where the student used wine to blend wine for a student with hot or cold. Then the student, the teacher said, I only for hot water. And over here, that's basically the same. Pasuk seemingly is demanding, Hashem is seemingly demanding that only a hatat should apply. Not the opposite way where it works either way. That's okay, fine. Pasuk says hatat and any hatat, but it says hatat. Pasuk says hatat and any hatat. Kosher, kosher. We know how no other kosher kosher. No matter pasuk says call hatat any hatat. Okay. Kosher kalim. We know other kosher kalim. So no matter the whole hatat. Dere bekiva. It's a kosher bekiva. Amar Yosef Aglili, I feel like I'm gonna back on Kolo, even if you use to learn all the other kavanos from this pasuk. I won't listen to you. Elam, but the pasuk has to be explained as follows: Hatat pasuk hatat. Any of the hatat yachid only private hatat is pasul if you bring the blood in. Hatat sibur when I know the community hatat. Tamalmar kol hatat pasuk any hatat. Any other hatat mizachar only male hatat. Hatat mekan I know female hatat. Tamar kol b'chol that's what pasuk is b'chol. Why would you think that you're including a female hatat? Female hatat is more common than male hatat. Where it says, "Elachi kamar indi alei hatat nekeva." The pasuk is only referring to female. Says like, "Man, how would I know male?" And I'm call hatat. Okay. One second. Basically, use that pasuk to teach you that regarding the male hatat. But however, it says, "Basically, Omer kol inyan kulo." And I'm a bit befarim nesrafim v'nesrafim. Pasuk when referring to the bulls that are being burned and the goats are being burned. It's a bet abira and teaching you the one who has to burn in the place it becomes pasul. Meaning, if it's brought in properly and the Quran's pasul, you don't burn it in the normal place, you burn it outside. And also you get a lav if you eat it. Hamim said to him, Hatat shenasad amal fnaf minay. I don't know that an outer hatat that we brought into the kosher koshim is pasul. But then pasuk says hen lo huba. Pasuk clearly says that it's referring to that, not regarding blood inside of the hechav. He's talking in the lens of Rabbi Akiva, even though Rabbi Akiva himself learns the pasuk for something else. Okay, new Mishnah. Hatat shekibat lema b'shnei kosot. A korban that received blood in 2 separate cups. Yatsa had mehen lahutz. If one cup was taken outside, haperin kasher. The one that stayed inside is kasher. Nechnas echad mehen lefnim. One was brought inside. Basically, mashir b'chitzon. The reality says the outside one is kasher. V'hamim posim hatim paseh. Pasuk. Mashir really because it says ma'im and b'makom shemachsheva paseh. If in a place where the intention makes it pasul, bahut outside the haser lo asat mishiyar kiyoseh. Then whatever stays in the right place is not treated like that which has been taken out. In a place where it's not intention does not make it pasul, befnim, which is inside, Ain't no din shelo na'aseh mishabed kinechnas. So therefore, it should not logically say that we should treat it that whatever stays in the right place and brought inside should be the same thing. Therefore, what? Nechnas lekafer, if the blood was brought in to do kapara, and you need to apply it, after bishlo kiper pasul, even if you did not put it on, it's pasul because you had intention. Even as Rishimon which one says, I shall kapar, it's not pasul unless you actually try to apply the blood. Yehuda says, Yehuda says, Im nechnis shogeg kasher, you brought by accidents kasher. Call them in between all pasul bloods, shenetru agav yidech yipron avech, Lord said, but the tzitz does not make a kapara, even though the tzitz helps other stuff. It's only tamei blood. It gets kapara. Shatis menatel tamei because blood that's tamei gets kapara for from the seats. They don't menatel say they don't get kapara for that which was taken out or any other thing that made it pasul. Tanabrat says Rabbi Yosef literally says kavachomer that when kavah enters the echal, they don't make the blood when it stayed outside pasul. Why? In the case of it, the place where the intention makes the pasul who's outside, lo pasal damage who's I think the blood that brought outside does not make the blood inside pasul. So if in so the blood place where the intention does not make stuff pasul inside the echal, eno din shelo yifsol dam shebefnim et hachus. So for sure, logically, blood in brought inside should not make the blood outside blood pasul. Amr lo Hachamim say no, we don't like that. Why? Because he said, Harei Pasuk says, Asher yuva midamha. Pasul from the blood that she brought. I feel it makes out even part of the blood brought inside is pasul. Marlem Rabbi Yosef says, Kal v'chomer liot. Let's make a kal v'chomer from the following thing, from the case of the blood went outside the echal. Uma b'makom she'en machshava posel, in the place where the intention does not make it pasul, bifnim inside, posel dam shemifnim etachot, still makes the blood outside pasul. Mekom shemachshav posel is in a place where his intention is pasul, makes pasul b'achut outside. Eno din she'yivsol dam b'achshavachut b'fnim, so for sure it can make the other blood pasul. I'm saying, I don't know. Pasuk says, "Sheyuva only blood is brought in. Harimesat posel inosel basul only brought in, not brought out." Gemara says, "Yitehei machshava b'fnim posel mikal v'chamer." Okay, fine. Doing a avodah in the chaser with intention for offering the blood inside should make the korban pasul from a kal v'chamer. What's the kal v'chamer? Uma b'makom shelo pasal dam shebachut b'fnim. If outside the chaser where blood is brought outside does not make the blood inside pasul. Machshava pasal dahus, but intention to bring it outside makes it pasul. Inside the echal, where blood brought inside makes the blood outside pasul. So for sure, if the blood brought inside, intention at least, it should also make a pasul. How do you read that? The pasuk says, "B'yom the third day, that only outside place intention makes a pasul, but not." Makom shehem mishulash b'dam b'basar b'brim. That's the only place refers to a place that has the blood, meat, and sacrificial parts. Okay. Okay, let's make a kal v'chomer. The intention to offer blood outside the hechal should not make it pasul because we see from the kal v'chomer. If it's at the hechal where blood brought inside makes it pasul, that which is outside, and but to offer it inside does not make it pasul. So a place outside the hechal where the blood does not make it pasul, if it's inside, so for sure, logically, the intention to offer it inside will not make it pasul. The pasuk says, "Shishi chosas mano pigul chosim kamo." When it says the third day, Shishi is asur. You have intention at the wrong time, and pigul is wrong place. Therefore, kal v'chomer cannot override this pasuk. Okay. Basar hetzei lachus pasul. Pasuk says, Brisa says, meat that was brought outside is pasul. And echnas lefim kasher. Brought in is kasher. Sheyeh badin nafsa because pasul. You might think logically it's pasul. Because why like kal v'chomer? In a place inside outside the haser where blood is brought, it does not make it pasul. It's what that which stays inside. But that meat brought that goes inside is pasul. So a place inside where if you brought it inside, it does make it pasul outside. So for meat also brought inside should make it pasul. Specifically, the mavel basar only blood becomes pasul when brought in, but not meat. That's the case. In a place where the blood brought inside makes that which outside pasul. Basar in kasher, yet meat that enters inside is kasher. In a place outside where the blood brought outside does not make it pasul if it's left inside. So for sure, logically, if the meat goes out, it should be kasher. Gemara says, Pasuk says already. You should not eat meat that terefa in the field. Teaches you that once the meat goes outside, it is pasul. Okay, number 9. Penima pasuk mentions inside. What's it talking about? Only la penima. I only know that if an outer hatat becomes brought in, becomes pasul into the hechal. Kodesh koshim rather. Hechal min that hechal also pasul. Kamar ela kodesh penima. Okay. That's his Yomar Kodesh. So teach me hechal. V'amar penina. They don't need the kodesh koshim because you have to go through that. Or I said, once we knew the second one, we know the first one. Toshav v'sachir, the same way we learned the halachot of a toshav and a sachir regarding Yovel. Basically, you teach the more chamur one first, and then you know the second one. So yes, you can't learn, even though yes, if you knew the second one, you could make a chamer to the first one, but you only learn that in order. The Tanya Brita says, Toshav zeh kanui kinyan olam, but Toshav is a person who's a eved that he got nisa in his ear, he got the slave got stabbed in the ear, and therefore he's a slave forever. He cannot eat his master's teruma. Sachir zeh kanui kinyan shanim, but a sachir is where he's serving his term, 6 years. He also can't eat teruma. Yomar Toshav alim sachir, so mention Toshav, which is the 6 year guy, and then you know for sure. Zahir. It's the opposite. Teach me the guy who's there forever that you can't even do it. So for sure the guy who's there for part of temporarily 6 years, for sure can't do it. Gemara said, you would have thought so. How you would have thought maybe the Toshav referred to as a temporary guy. Maybe but a permanent one, yeah, Allah would eat. Therefore, Zahir therefore they mentioned both. Both the temporary and permanent employees, servants, cannot eat teruma. Rabbi says, based on what makes sense over there, because teruma two different types of avadim, slaves. Even though the pasuk could just mention a nirtzah guy can't eat teruma, you can make the kavachomer to the temporary guy. But still, sometimes when you have a kavachomer, the pasuk might take the trouble to still write it. But over here, once the blood becomes pasul in the hechal, how would you have a case where it gets into the Kodesh Kodashim without becoming pasul? You have to go through the hechal. Mar said, maybe excluding a case where if the blood was brought into the Kodesh Kodashim through like the roof. Mar says, it mentions bringing, sounds like through it. Anything that's brought into the Kodesh Kodashim, does not become pasul nechal. Meaning, if the guy has intention to bring it into the Kodesh Kodashim, it doesn't become pasul till he brings it through. It does not become pasul in the hechal, and therefore we're teaching this pasul teaches you that even in the Kodesh Kodashim, if he actually brings it there, it is also pasul.